Let me try that again. What's up? What's up? What's up? It's John here from JJSC Tech, and I'm here today, and we are testing Ecamm Beta. Now, I just came off of another person's live stream, Kirk Nugent, and he was telling me about the Ecamm live stream, the Ecamm Beta, and all of the new features in audio that they have implemented. And something came up in my mind to test the VSTs because I have a lot of VSTs. I have waves, I have universal audio, I have BBE because I also do live stream audio mixing using a DAW, using like Logic and etc. So I have all these plugins. So I'm thinking, can I use these in Ecamm? And if I can, this is going to be pretty dope. And lo and behold, I downloaded Ecamm Beta and I see all the VSTs. So this can be very interesting. This can be really interesting. Now, what I'm going to do is I won't do anything with this mic because this mic is set. This mic is perfect. What this is the what is this? Okay, yeah, this is the Neumann U87 AI, and I have this running through like my Apollo. So let me just pull that up real quick. Boom. So this is my U87, and I have it running through the Apollo. And as you see, I have a lot of plugins right here. So I have other third-party plugins. Hold on, let me do my highlights so you guys can see well. So we are looking over here in this section right here. As you see, I have Manly Voxbox, PSer. What is this? This is the Neve and my LA2A. So in Universal Audio, it does all of the heavy lifting with the DSPs and etc. And I'm able to use all of these plugins within Universal Audio. The fun thing is that when I looked at Ecamm, I was able to see all of these plugins inside of Ecamm as well. So I'm gonna test it out. I'm gonna see if it actually works. And that's why I'm using, let me do this right now. I'm going to be using this mic. Let me scroll up. Okay, yeah, this mic right here. I am going to be using this mic. And as you see, this mic doesn't have any plugins. It's completely bare bones. So I won't be using the plugins inside of Universal Audio. I'm actually going to add them within Ecamm, and I'm gonna see how it sounds, you know? So for that mic, I will be using a Earthworks Icon Pro. So let me rename this right here to Earthworks. Now, this is the ethos. We're just gonna use the ethos. All right, so this is gonna be the ethos, and I am going to go over to that right now. So I will kill this mic, which is my UAD, and the next time you'll hear me is on the Earthworks ethos. All right, boom, 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 boom. Let me see, let me see. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Wow, it is 4. Okay, that makes sense because. All right, cool. So this is the earthworks ethos. I just had to route it in Ecamm, not Ecamm. I had to route it in loopback so you guys can actually hear what I am saying. I have a lot of inputs. All right, so this is what it sounds like, dry, bare bones. What I'm going to do is just probably increase. I'm going to increase this right here. I don't want to put it too high. I think 40 might be good. 40 is good enough. 40, testing, 40, 40, 40. Okay, cool. So let me use live demo mode. Boom. Yeah, don't ask me again. Just turn it on. All right. So you should be able to see everything. Yes, you're able to see everything. So this is Ecamm. This is the Ecamm window. And this is live demo mode. And over here, let me make sure you guys can see. Right over here, as you see right there, that is, oh, hopefully you can see it. Yeah, you should be able to see it. That is the new Ecamm window for audio filters. So how did I get to there? So in the Ecamm audio widget right here, or this floating window, what you do is you come right here at the bottom. Maybe I can zoom in. Yeah, you come right here, right next to where it says system audio mix, and you're going to see this little puzzle piece. And when you click that, it will show you all of the audio filters. So this is what I will be using to try to manipulate my voice without using universal audio. So when you click the plus sign right here, you get all of these things to choose from. So I can apply effects to a specific channel or the entire matrix. I don't know what that means. So I'll just say specific channels. And you can apply it to the main mic, secondary mic, or right here where it says interview guests. So you can apply them to all of your guests as well. So this is great. Maybe because your guest is coming in and their audio doesn't sound that great, you can actually add different VSTs to your guest mic so they can sound great. This is kind of big. I ain't gonna lie to you. This is kind of big. So I'm gonna just add it to the main mic right now, which is my mic. And you go right down here where it says add plugins, and boom, see, these are all of my plugins that I have installed on the computer. All of them. So I have my Steven Slate, and you see these are all of my universal audio plugins. Every one of them. Now the thing is, with universal audio, I mean, I'm gonna just try it because all these universal audio plugins, they will play with the actual hardware. No. I forgot. Universal audio does allow you to use VSTs without the Apollo, but that's only if they are like that's if they're only like UA ready. I forgot what it's called, but Universal Audio has some plugins that you can use without having the Apollo. So since I'm using a Universal Audio, the first thing I'm going to test is the SSL. Okay, so I'll do the SSL right here. And as you see, you get the same pop-up that you would get in Universal Audio. Ooh, what is this? This is new. I might have to log in to UA. I don't know what this window is. Again, this is the beta, so let me just move that to the other to the other window. And I do see my gain. Okay. Yes, this is the UA. Okay, let me just make sure there is no incriminating information before I bring this back over. Okay, cool. So, right here. So this is a Universal Audio window. That shows you all of the plugins that you can use without the Apollo itself. Well, this is connecting to UA. Yeah. So as you see, there is. It just disappeared. I guess it's updating. This is all beta. This is all beta. So relax. So let that just do its thing. Okay, good. You logging in. Did you update? Is everything fine? Can I show the people now? All right. So you see over here, right here, it says Apollo and UA-2. So some of these plugins can work with the Apollo, or some of them are Apollo only, and some of them are UA-2, which is you can just use it on whatever application you want to use it with. So let's see. Yeah. So these are all the plugins. I don't see SSL, so I don't think SSL is. I don't think SSL can work on both. But who cares? I see it right here since I got a Apollo. All right, so I wonder if my voice has changed. So if I increase the highs right here, I wonder if that is manipulating my voice. This is the only thing though. I can't tell what it's sounding like. I don't know what it's sounding like. It might be manipulating my voice, or it might not be. Is there a way to turn them on and off? Okay, you can turn it off and on and off right here. Oh, can you name them? No, it just has new. Oh, you can name them. Okay, so I can name this right here SSL. And I should be able to turn it on and off. And ooh, look right down here. As you see, when the plugins are on, the puzzle icon in your widget section, in your this audio widget section, it turns green to show you that plugins are active. That's a nice touch. That's a really nice touch. And if you click the gear and click the gear right here, you're able to continue to manipulate the SSL widget. And let me see, maybe I can increase the low end so I can be a bit more boomy. Boomy, boomy, boomy. Boomy, boomy, boomy. Okay, where's my frequency? I'm more like a 150 type of guy. That's where my low end is. And my mid section. Let me just look at my. Let me just look at my U87 and see what my SSL settings are there. All right, so my SSL settings over there, they are, I took out the highs. I took out some high frequencies right there, boom. And I turned this all the way down. Turn this all the way down to right there. And my high mids, this is between these two. Boom. And my dynamics I'm not really using. This is not the same filter though. This is not the same at all. This is the legacy. Okay, let me not use the legacy. Let me use the actual. So in order for me to do, I gotta remove that. And then at the side again, I have to come down to universal audio and then click another SSL because I want the same SSL plugin. And just because they're SSL doesn't mean they all sound the same. Some of them have more features than others. Where's SSL? Okay, cool. Right here. Yeah, the E channel strip instead of the legacy. Okay, boom. So this is the same exact one that I have on the universal audio. All right. All right, and just not to confuse anyone, this big one right here, that's actually running on the Apollo. And the tiny one right here, that tiny one is running inside of Ecamm. Mixing myself up. So the big one is the Apollo, and the tiny one is running in Ecamm. All right, boom. All right, so what I'm going to do right now, I'm just copying all of my settings that is on my my Neumann to this earthworks ethos. So with this, I took out, I don't have to take out the high frequencies because this is kind of a dark mic. So I might be adding some of the frequencies. Boom. So let's just bump that up a bit at 10K to give my voice a bit more presence. And let's take this out. This is more like 700 hertz. Yeah, take out some of that and make it make the Q band a bit smaller. All right. And the mic, can I increase the mic? I can. So why did I increase the mic? All right, so I increased the mic feed. Boom, right there. All right, boom, boom, boom. This is all the same. All right, let's go to the low mids and take this out a bit. I don't want it to be too boomy. For those two people, or one or two people that are watching this, can you hear a difference in my voice? That's what I'm really interested in hearing. If you can type, can you hear all of these adjustments that I'm making? Boom, do that. And make the Q band just like that. All right, so the low frequencies now, this is what I am really going to bump up a bit on this mic. So I just took it out. I mean, on this one, they're taken out. And here, I'll keep it at unity because this doesn't have as much bass as the U87. So I am interested in how this sounds. So let me remove this. Boom. And I am keeping this right here. Now, I wonder if I increase the output. Well, I am seeing that the audio levels are louder because right now, if you look at this right here, this is hitting the yellow. Testing, 1 2 1 2, testing. Okay, so if I was to increase the output, I should get louder. Oh yeah, I am getting louder. This is working live. This is crazy. I just don't know how it sounds though. And this is all with the SSL. So, I am interested. I don't need to show the Apollo anymore. I do not need to see the Apollo anymore. That's because everyone should be able to just see this. Okay, boom, that's good. And I should be able to add another plugin. Let me see what I'll add. Let me add a compressor. Let me add a waves compressor. C6 multiband EQ. What is the L2? L2. No, I don't want that. You could just delete it from right here, boom. And then you could just add another one. Excuse me. Dude, bro, you can even add reverbs. Reverbs. This is my voice should be coming in with the reverb. Yo, this is gonna be so dope for musicians. This is gonna be so dope for musicians. I can't even, I wish I could hear what it sounds like. I'm gonna just hear myself on the phone real quick. Just to see if it works. Yeah, wow, you can hear the reverb, wow. So let me turn that off. Testing 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2. One, two, three. Testing 1 2 1 2. Yeah, that's crazy, bro. That is crazy. The sky is the limit right now. I mean, there's a crazy delay. Because of the internet and whatnot. But this is dope. I wonder, this is dope. This is dope. So I also have like my isotope. My isotope is audio repair. So I can do things like a dehum, de-esser, deplosive, dialogue isolate. Like if there's a lot of noise around. Now this might crash. This might crash the system. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yep, and I have the spinning ball of death. Oh, it is working. This is crazy. So with dialogue isolate, what it does, so if I'm like mixing, yeah, I can see my CPU spiking. So what I'm gonna do is turn this off and get rid of that. And yeah, and it just dropped back down to 12%. So the cool thing about that, I would never do that live, but dialogue isolate, what it does, it does a lot of audio processing, and it can remove a whole lot of background noise. So the cool thing about isotope as well is if there's like multiple things playing, like if for instance there's a video with audio, of course someone is singing, there's background musicians and etc. What you can do in isotope is remove the musicians and just leave the person that is speaking. Now it isn't perfect because it's using like algorithms and etc. But it's pretty powerful, and that's why my CPU spiked to like 93%. So I won't use that. Let's use something else. I have my BBE, like my harmonics and etc. Stephen Slate trigger. So if I'm using like a DAW, if I'm using a DAW online live, I don't know why I would want to do that, but I can do that. I can use like a SSL, the Stephen Slate trigger, in order to add to it, but you want to do that. Let me add another reverb. This is going to be so great for musicians. No, this is going to be great if you're getting a guest and they're singing through Zoom. You can add like different effects to their voice, but I wonder what the latency is. Like if they're singing but the effects is on my computer, I wonder what that latency is. It's something to try, to test out. If any of you guys want to join a Zoom, I can drop a link in the chat so you guys can join that Zoom. Obviously, I won't just let you in if you're going to be trolling. If I don't know you, I'm not bringing you on, but I can do that. I got autotune. Let me try some autotune. Autotune. Does it work? I don't know. It should be working. Because I am not a singer. This is a demo. All right. Let's not do that one then. I have another auto-tune. Let's try UAD Antares. Is it Antares? Antares auto-tune. But the only thing is that you see a whole bunch of plugins in here. A lot of these plugins I don't even have. So I wish it would just show the plugins that are enabled inside of my UAD, because this can get kind of confusing. One thing I do have is Neve. So let me add a Neve plugin. And okay, good. Neve 1073. So let me add that. Boom. Nope. I don't want that one. And I mean, this is interesting because my CPU isn't spiking using these plugins, because naturally, if you are using a whole bunch of plugins inside of Ecamm, your CPU should spike. But since they are UAD, I'm guessing not really, because my CPU is 17%. Okay, it'll spike, which is naturally so. All right, so let me add a bit more bass, maybe. So in the so this is a low pass filter. Okay, cool. Boom. All right, so let's go to something like 220. Increase the bass. Boom, boom. Increase the boominess. Boom, boom, boom. I don't know how that sounds, but again, you can turn on and off these. Huh? Wait a minute. Hold on. So the way I thought you had to do this, oh, this is dope. This is just a little, it makes it more organized. Okay, so you see right here, you can add the plugins. Like as you see, add a new filter. But if you add one, I thought you just had to be adding a whole bunch of plugins over and over and over again. No, that's not the case. You can add one filter, and inside of that filter, you can add multiple plugins. So that becomes much more neater, because you can just stack plugins on one mic, and for the guests, you can have another plugin just for the guests. So you can choose this right here, and I'll say guest 1, and then I would be able to add multiple plugins for that guest. So if there is a guest right here, I'll just name this guest, and instead of naming this SSL, I would name this my mic. Okay, that's dope. That is dope. I guess if you click this drop down, you can see all of the plugins, all of the VSTs that you added to this individual mic. Oh, that's dope. So if you want to be organized, you can do it this way, or you can add like multiple different compressors to one mic, and then on the second one you can add even reverbs and etc., compressors, and just name it compressors. That way you're able to monitor what is on and what is off. So that's dope. That's really dope. All right, let's add one more plugin, and let's do a waves. And the waves is a CLA2A. What is this? Okay, this is a waves compressor, and it's really aggressive. I don't want it that aggressive. Let's bring it back real quick. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2. Why did it stop working all of a sudden? Okay, let's go back up. Alright, I don't need it to be that aggressive. Okay, that aggressive is fine. Testing 1 2 1 2. 1 2 3. And this just put it back up a bit more so it's a bit more aggressive, so I'm not like clipping or anything. 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4. All right, boom. And the cool thing about it is that you can just turn them on and off, like boom, boom, and my voice should sound completely different. Testing 1 2 1 2 1 2 3, and if I turn it back on, I was walking down the street and I saw a bear, and I was like, oh, it's a bear. And the bear looked at me, and I looked at the bear, and we just stood there and stared. Okay. First issue I ran into: one or more UAD plugins are disabled because DSP resources are exceeded. So, okay, cool. This is still using my DSPs. So it's still using the universal audio. It's still using the universal audio Apollo, which makes sense because a lot of these plugins right here are not exclusive to the Apollo. Things like the SSL and the Neve. But let me turn it off and turn it back on again. I don't know which one that is. I wonder if I click on them, will it tell me which? Okay, so I can't have two of them at the same time on. Interesting. EQ. And testing 1 2 1 2. Okay, so this is still working, which is like the main one, SSL. So is it the Neve? I wonder what DSP is being used. Hold on, let me pull up my resources, my DSP resources. Geesh, 94%. What? All right, let me get rid of that. And get rid of that. That's interesting. How is it using 94%? That's very interesting. So I guess that's a bug. That's a little bug. That's not a small bug. That's a big bug. So I guess if you're using Apollo plugins inside of Ecamm, it automatically spikes it to like 94, because I've never even used 30%, because this thing is super powerful. So for it to spike to 94% is very interesting. Yeah, very interesting. Hopefully they fix that. And let me keep this right here to see what happens. So let me trash, turn this off. Nothing. Still 94%. Wow. Oh, you can also double click to add main mic, add plugin, universal audio, go back to SSL. SSL, strip. The only thing is, oh, it's disabled. Wow, look at that. It's disabled right there at the bottom. Fascinating. All right, so that's why you have different VSTs. So I still have the Waves SSL, So this is the waves SSL right here. I have a lot of waves SSLs. SSL comp, SSL channels? What is this? What is this? Okay, I'm trying to get the same one. I'm trying to get the same one that's inside of Universal Audio. So let me remove that. Let me remove that. And as you see, Apple, these are all of the plugins within Logic. So you can also use Logic's built-in plugins. So all of these reverbs and etc., you can use them as well. So you can actually get Ecamm Beta and just start using it, because if you're using a Mac and you already have Logic, you can start playing with a lot of those built-in plugins. So let me try to get a different SSL. Okay, this is SSL compressor, which is that I don't want. I just want the regular channel strip. G? Let me just use this. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy my SSL settings from my Neumann U87, and let's see if this works now. I mean, this looks similar. Okay, dynamics is up here. Highs. What does this say? High mid frequencies. All right. Usually this is like, I put this at like, ooh, but with waves you can see exactly where what frequencies you're hitting, which is dope. So let's just go to 10K. All right, 10,000 hertz. Boom, 10,000 hertz. And I might leave it at 0. I might cut it out. I might just add a little bit. Let's do 0.8. Let me look at the mids. So these are the mid frequencies. High mids. Yeah, so with the high mids, I cut out at like right there, at like 7, and the dB is like right here. Minus like 3.5 dB from the high mids, because I can be a bit sibilant, so I cut that out. And the low mid frequencies, I have it as like another minus 3.5. Like a minus 3.5. And it is the Q band. The Q band is a bit wider at like 2. And right here, what do I have this as? I have this way down here at like 0.25. And the lows now, I don't have a very boomy voice, so at like 150, at like 150. I could do a good 130. At like 130. I can bump this up just a bit because this is a different mic. Testing 1 2 1 2, testing 1 2. And yeah, let me do probably a good 1.7. See what that sounds like. And on the output, is this the output? Analog on, analog off. I don't know what any of these are. I don't know what they sound like actually. And I think this is supposed to have like a noise gate. Yes, it does have a noise gate. All right, so let me turn on that noise gate because there's a bit of noise where I'm at. And let me put that range to like 20. Again, if you're not joining, I'm doing all of this inside of Ecamm. All of this is inside of Ecamm, inside of this new audio plugin section. And I must say, it's kind of great. It's kind of great. It's not only great because you can do it to your own voice, but you can also do it to the guest voice. So if you have like a, say like a live event coming up with some big artists or even a local artist, but they just need to sound great and they don't have the equipment to sound that great. They're just coming in on Zoom. You can actually bring them in and choose their microphone, which would be like guest 1, guest 2, or guest 3, or whichever, and you can add a lot of these plugins to their voice as well, so they can sound great on your stream. Like I said, this is going to be amazing for musicians, people who are playing and singing using Ecamm. This is going to be very amazing. Let me get back to this, to my noise gate. This, I had this set to like around right here, right there, and the threshold. The threshold needs to be much higher. Threshold needs to be like right there. So it is gradually taking out my voice and not too aggressive. Testing 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2 1 2. Add in the noise gate. Add in the noise gate. Add in the noise gate. All right. All right. So then I can. Whoa. Then right here I can add a little bit so my voice is a little louder coming in on the stream. This is dope. This is super dope. This is dope. This is dope. Yep, I can see my audio levels increasing. I can't wait to listen to this back. Listen back to this. So my mic, let me add harmonics, waves. I'm not messing with universal audio right now because I don't know what's going on with them. I can probably add a de-esser. So this is a de-esser. I mean, you could probably, not probably. If you have Fab Filter plugins, you can use this as well within Ecamm, which is dope. So this is with the de-esser. And again, but the only thing, if I know you can add a ton of plugins within one effect, but it doesn't seem you can turn it off and on within this testing. I guess you have to turn off the plugin itself. I guess. I guess that's the only way. Because with right here, you can just uncheck this and it turns off all the plugins, and this is my dry mic. And when you turn this on, it turns on all the plugins one time. So I guess if you want to control certain plugins, like if you have reverb and etc., I don't think you should put it inside of one plugin chain like this. You should create a second effect or a second filter just for reverb and auto tune, so you can quickly turn those off and on. So if you're like singing and you're using reverb and auto tune, you can just check it, turn it on, and then you can always uncheck it right after. Now, the thing I'm not sure about is how much would this tax your computer? Because if you have a ton of plugins, it's inevitably gonna tax your computer. And plus, I'm running an Intel, so I'm running a pretty old 2019 Mac Pro, but my processor is pretty good. It's like a 12-core Xeon. So as you see, it's not. I'm streaming. I'm running these effects, and I can do a whole bunch of other stuff, and my CPU is still at 14%. So definitely, if you are using like a Apple Silicon, you shouldn't be running into any issues. But use your discretion. Don't put like 100 plugins on there, because if your live stream crashes, then you've been warned. All right, so yeah, this is dope. I don't think there's much more I can do. The only thing I don't know what's the difference between entire matrix and specific channel. Well, I guess using deductive reasoning, I guess the entire matrix would be on all the channels. Yeah, I guess they'll apply plugins to all the channels, but I don't think you want to do that. You always want to separate them, because the way you set your mic isn't going to be the same way you set the guest mic, because your voices don't sound the same. So definitely run it on separate channels. So the same way I have it set up here, you have my mic, and then you just add another filter for the guests. And then you can add a whole bunch of plugins there, and then definitely add separate filters for like reverb and etc. So if I was to put reverb, right here, and then check this, add a waves reverb. Testing 1 2 1 2. Yep, this is working. Testing 1 2 1 2. I don't know how strong it is. The thing is, you can't monitor it, so you don't know what it sounds like. But I guess you're gonna have to do a test, and that way you can get all your settings correct, and then you can just turn it off after you're not using it. Yeah. That's great. That's actually a really good thing. I do wonder if you can route your audio settings. So that's the next thing Ecamm needs to work on when it comes to audio. Preferences, audio. Okay, so you still can't route your audio. And by routing the audio, I mean just like how I use loopback, like right here. I can route different channels to the left and right mix, because Ecamm is using the left and right mix, or the left and right channels, just like OBS and etc. So it uses channel 1 and channel 2. OBS does the same thing. Now, if Ecamm is able to do things like allow you to remove and add certain microphones to those channels, I don't think you would need any other software than Ecamm. Ecamm will dominate everything when they allow you to do that. But as of right now, I mean, it's still number one. I can't see another let me end live demo mode. I can't really see another live streaming software that is doing what Ecamm is doing, because I'm thinking more along the lines of musicians. Visually, this is everything you need, because I'm a cinematographer and I use high-end cameras and lenses and etc. Like this is great. You can add things like LUTs to Ecamm. Let me do live demo mode as well. Once more. As you see over here on this side, you can add LUTs and you can manipulate the settings. Because if I was to turn off this LUT right now, what my LUT is, 28. Boom. This is how I actually look without the LUT. So when I turn on the LUT, you guys probably can't see in live demo mode. So when I turn off the LUT, this is what I look like. Those are the colors. And when I turn on the LUT, this is how I can manipulate the color and the highlight roll off and etc. There's not a lot of live streaming services that do that. You can do it in Zoom, but it isn't as intuitive. Not in Zoom, sorry. You can do it in OBS, but it's not as intuitive. And the way the scenes are set up here, and I can do things like draw on the screen and etc. It's just simple. It's just easy. So if you're a one-man production company, Ecamm is the way to go for right now. For right now, Ecamm is the way. I don't see anything that is taking over Ecamm right now. Ecamm definitely is a juggernaut, especially with these plugins for audio. I think other things allowed you to use plugins like external VSTs, but since they're in Ecamm now, it's just much simpler. But yeah, that is it. It is 11:51 where I'm at, so I am going to get out of here. If you want me to do any more testing, any other type of testing with this audio stuff, let me know. Drop a comment in the comment section and I will get back to you. I can possibly even get on another live. I'll probably get one of my friends to jump on a live with me while we're doing this. And yeah, he's going to join in Zoom, and then we can test it out and see what he sounds like to the online audience and etc. But other than that, I'm going to catch you guys in the next one. Peace.